So in this video I will introduce you to world of mobile application security, and I will actually introduce you this course. So basically this course material is based on some of the universities, and I teach this course to like various students such as like the college students, some undergrad students, some grad students, and also some like practitioner in the cybersecurity sector. So it is like a course for various people, and don't worry if you not like get the whole like understand the full lectures from the beginning, and just try to understand it because you will understand it, I am for sure. And although like courses like that mostly require some of the basic information, I will try to cover this information during the lessons. However, I really suggest you to, before the beginning, I really suggest you to take some network security lessons, some web application security lessons, some like cryptography lessons, or like operating systems, like basic operating system, basic Linux, and so on. So basically these are like the requirements for this course. However, for like covering a broad range of students, I will like explain you when this kind of terminology appears in the course. So don't worry if you have the whole basics. However, in order to fully understand this course, I will suggest you to get some basics for like cybersecurity basics. So basically we have like 12 lessons here, and in this 12 lesson we will cover everything for mobile application security, and we might have some bonuses, and we will be discovering them during the course. So basically, like I first like tell you this in the high level summary. So basically what we'll be covering can be like in the 4 aspects. So these aspects are like introduction to mobile security and terminology, and like the theory, and setting up the penetration lab, and Android penetration testing, and iOS penetration testing. And what we'll be covering is like this module 3 is the most technical and the most difficult part, and we will be covering it mostly. And these 4 basic, like these 4 aspects are actually divided into the 12 lessons here, as you can see. So this will be our basically schedule. So these 4 aspects are the high level summary, and these 4 detailed lessons are like our syllabus, and we will be following that. And we will start with the foundations of mobile security, and we will be mostly talking about the mobile application and penetration testing. However, like we might occur some of the mobile security related issues like mobile malware, mobile red teaming, and so on. So we will be discovering them also in the course. And so we will start with like the basic terminology, like I said, and we will talk about the penetration testing methodologies. And also we will like this. So this is like this video right now. So we will be talking about the course overview, structure, and our goals. And after that, we will be covering some related terminology with the mobile application security. So there are some practical labs and CTFs in this PDF, and although not every time we will be doing that, I really suggest you to do it by yourself. So it is like an optional homework for you, and cause like in this course I cannot check your homework, therefore I won't be giving you any homework, but you can like do this homework all the time. And besides that, we will be doing a quiz at the end of every lecture. So there will be like an assessment. So there will be like 12 assessments, and we will like solve these quizzes in the end of the lectures. But before starting, like before I start to solve this, I really suggest you to do and try this by yourself. Then like do the pointing, like do the scoring, grading with me, because you can try yourself with these quizzes, because these quizzes mostly it covers what I have taught in the lessons. However, there are like some advanced things in these quizzes, and you might like try to think about it and find the right answer. So this is like a good exercise, I think, in order to whether you understand the lesson or not. And because of that, we will be doing 12 of those, and based on the score, I will suggest you to like go back to this or go back to this lesson or pass to the other lesson. So this is, I think, this will be like give you a chance to whether you like test yourself, whether you have understand or not. And this is the lesson number 1. And the lesson number 2, we will be building a penetration testing lab. So we will be setting up some Android Studio emulators. So we will be setting up some JDEX, APK tool, and so on. And although like the proxy setup can be done here, we will be doing that in the dynamic section. And like I said, the labs are optional for you, and we will do the quiz. Then it will be like a theoretical lesson, mostly theory lesson. So in this theory lessons, we will talk about the Android operating system architecture. We will try to understand like the most important files, and then that. So this is like an important lesson. You need to understand it very carefully. And also, like, I won't be saying that we have a quiz all the time, and also like there's a quiz. And so then we will be talking about the static analysis. So static analysis will be in the 2 parts. And in the first part, we will like there is a injured Android vulnerable app which I will be showing you, and I really suggest you to like set up and done the exercises with me. And in this like the injured Android APK, we will try to find some misconfigured files, we will try to find some API keys, password, and hard-coded information, and so on. So this is like a good exercise, and we will continue with the second part, and the second part will like cover some of the other flags, and also it will be covering like the setting up the automated mobile penetration testing process. And then we will do some dynamic analysis, and in the dynamic analysis, so there will be 4 lessons about the dynamic analysis, and it will be in the different aspects of the dynamic analysis. So it is important to understand the whole of them. So in the dynamic analysis, we will start with the SSL pinning, which is like how to, so this is, which is a technique. So we will be talking about SSL pinning and bypass techniques actually, and it stands for like intercepting the HTTPS traffic. So like if you are unfamiliar with what is HTTPS, like I said, I really suggest you to go back to the networking basics. So this is not like a must, but in order to fully cover everything, I really suggest you to get like the basic cybersecurity training. And in the like, so we will be also doing some labs here. Then we will be like going with the dynamic analysis section 2, and we will be like talking about the free DAN objection. And so we'll be talking about the runtime instrumentation, and we will be talking about the bypassing client-side controls, which is also like the dynamic analysis section. And then we'll talk about the runtime data extraction. So these are all of them are like the components and aspects of the dynamic analysis. And after that, we will do some live Android bug hunting. So like in normal lessons where I taught this like in the on-site, so in the on-site lessons, most of the time students like pick some applications for themselves. Then I like may give them the homework, and they like study that app for a week or 2. And then when they come to the lesson, we like do the bug hunting together and analyze it together. However, since this is like a recorded lesson, and it is unethical to show me to like bug bounty hunting, show you how to bug bounty hunt the like legal applications, we will be doing some CTF rather than this, because it is like the ethical way to solve the Android issues. So yeah, so this will be like the Android. So this will be like the live Android bug hunting CTF, because we won't be like doing the real bug hunting or like the vulnerability assessment to the apps we are not authorized in, and therefore we'll be doing some CTFs. CTF challenges for this lesson. Then we will be talking about the iOS penetration testing process. So basically, since not every student has the iOS operating system and phones and so on, we'll be mostly covering the Android, and I will be talking about the iOS. So iOS is basically like, it is so like the operating system is slightly different, but the basic methodology, basic penetration methodology is the same. So therefore, if you are like fully understand the Android, I'm sure it will be very easy for you to do the iOS. And then in the last section, I will be talking about the reporting carriers, and I will be like summarizing everything we have talked about in the course. And we will be like, this will be the final lecture. So this is like the summary of the entire course, what we will be talking about. So if I start with what this course is and what is not, basically, so what we'll be covering is basically the mobile application security. So like the mobile security has various aspects, such as like the operating system security also, and like also like the network security for our phone. What we'll be covering will be mostly the mobile application security, but I might show you some tricks about what are the operating system security and network security is. So there might be some like little CTFs about it. However, what we'll be mostly covering will be the mobile application security, mobile application penetration testing and security. And although like it is directly related issue with the mobile malwares, we won't be like, it might be like a bonus lecture. However, we won't be covering anything based on the malware analysis. Maybe there might be some like a little bonus section for that. And so, and like I said, what you need to know for your sake basically is like I want you to understand web application security basics. So if you are like if you know the web application penetration testing and security, it will be very easy to like understand the mobile application security. And if you are unfamiliar with it, I really suggest you to at least like read something or like talk with ChatGPT, I don't know, or get the basics. And also like I want, if you have the like cybersecurity essentials, this is good for you. So what I mean by the essentials, these are like the network security, operating systems, cryptography, and basic programming. So like for these lectures, I am expecting that although you are not like fully like expert in the subjects, I mean, I am expecting that you know what an IP is, what is an operating system, what is Linux, how can I like run several Linux commands, and like how can I write some basic programs. So I am like expecting that you are familiar with this kind of stuff. And actually, if you are unfamiliar with the stuff, I will like record some basic video. However, it will be like the very basics, and it won't be enough for you basically, because this is not what this course about. However, I will do some lessons, I will record some lessons for basic terminology. But if you are like zero in this subject, those courses won't be enough for you, and I am expecting that you get the cybersecurity essentials first, then come to this lesson.